How you all doing? We're from the Carolina Piedmont base of the United States submarine veterans. We're all sub-sailors. That doesn't mean we're substandard sailors. That just means we're on submarines. How many service veterans or spouses of veterans do I have in here? Thank you. Thank you for your service and your spouse's service. Thank you. How many of you grew up in the South? I grew up in the South too, southern Michigan. I grew up on a sheep farm, southern Michigan. It wasn't bad. Except one time I dropped my watch in the sheep dip. It killed the ticks. Now it only talks. So, actually, on our farm, we had in our backyard, we didn't have a sandbox, we had a quicksand box. So eventually, I was an only child. Not really, my brother was an only child. I caught on and I snuck away. So my brother was an only child. I remember when I was born, my mom was out of town. So, but, you know, I had some bad luck last week. I broke a mirror. You know, 7 years bad luck, but my lawyer thinks he can get me off with 4.5, maybe 5 years. So, you know, I had some bosses, and they don't think I can think very well outside the box. So, you know, I'm thinking better already. But then I had others that thought I was level-headed. You know, so I'm thinking a lot better already now. So. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Thank you. You know, 97% of our body is made up of water. That means we're this far away from drowning at any minute. So, I was at a flea market the other day and I bought some instant water. The only trouble is I don't know what to add to it. So, you know. Oh, years ago I was in this bar and I met this sat down to this beautiful young woman, and I says, "Have you lived in this area often?" And she says, "You're wearing 2 different colors pair of socks." And I says, "Well, they're both the same to me because I go by thickness." And besides that, I got another pair just like that at home. And she said, and we've been married now for 40 years, so. My wife sleeps in a queen-size bed. I sleep in a jester-size bed. So, she asked me last night, she says, or this morning, she says, "Did you sleep good last night?" And I says, "Well, I made a few mistakes." So, but, you know, well, I got to tell you about my Aunt Esther and Uncle Harry. Uncle Harry's 86 years old, and Aunt Esther, she's 85, and they've been married 65 years. And they're in pretty good health. You know, they go to the mall every day, and they walk around, and they're really good health. Except they were worried about forgetting things, so they went to the doctor, and they said, you know, "Doc, we feel pretty good, but we keep forgetting things." He says, "Well, just start taking a little pad of sticky notes and writing things down." And they said, "Okay, we can do that." So that evening they're watching television, and Uncle Harry, he says, "I'm going to the kitchen for a snack. You need anything?" And Esther says, "Yeah, get me a bowl of ice cream." And he says, "Okay, a bowl of ice cream." She says, "You better write it down." He says, "I can remember a bowl of ice cream." She says, "Yeah, but I want strawberry topping on it." I can remember a bowl of ice cream with strawberry topping on it. She says, you better write it down. I can remember that. Yeah, but I want whipped cream on it also. So you better write it down. I can remember that. You want ice cream, strawberry topping with whipped cream on it. I can remember that. So he toddles into the kitchen. He's in there for about 20 minutes. He comes back, hands her a plate of bacon and eggs. She looks at that plate and says, looks up at him and says, where's my toast? Okay, there's these two cannibals that are in South America, okay? And they're sitting around, and they just cooked this missionary. And this one cannibal says, boy, this missionary's tough. How did you cook him? He says, well, I boiled him. He says, you idiot. Don't you know he was a friar? Same two cannibals. He says, boy, I hate my mother-in-law. Oh, just shut up and eat the vegetables then. Well, in case I'm ever down in South America, I have a secret weapon. I hear they don't eat clowns because they taste funny. So, thank you very much.